the best in this sport. Whether you like it or not, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Georgia Players Section with Tavarres, King, Knowshon Moreno. Man, we put out so much content here, TK. I was about to say UGA Sports Rumors versus Facts. I didn't know what show I was on. I was about to. I didn't know
what you mean. You better know what show you on.
I mean, we got a lot of content here on this channel, which is the reason why you need to subscribe. Yeah, cheers, my man. Turn on notifications when we go live. A lot of times like this, of course, Jim Donnan, Roddy, Dane, they do their thing over there, and we're being joined by Sauce here. Sauce, can you hear us now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
He was trying to go with the wireless gimmicks.
Yeah.
Working for him. You know what I'm saying?
I just noticed that they're dead, actually. So
he said that they're dead, actually.
So
yeah.
But I'm
here
to
have those charged up, you know. So that is good. But now we're how's everything going this evening, fellas?
Going good, man. Going good. Obviously had a good week of the combine for a bunch of Georgia guys. It was dope to see, but shoot, week's off to a strong start. What about you over there, Sauce?
Yeah, man. I thought it was a great combine just for the SEC in general. This is actually the first combine that I watched, I feel like, from the beginning to end. You know, I usually, don't watch it, but, it was really good to see what the SEC guys can do. But it was also good to see what some of these other guys can do with these other teams and where they're going to be going in the draft. But all in all, a good week.
Word. What you pouring up over there? I mean,
I was doing something over here.
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, chill out. And I mean, not only the SEC, Georgia did their thing too. Georgia did their thing.
Dude, Jason Cancel in here with us from Hong Kong. He's watching from Hong Kong. We appreciate
What's
you.
What's the time over there right now?
He said good morning, so it's bright and early over there.
Nice. I like it.
I love it.
Wake up with us.
Of course,
okay.
Andy Stowe is in here with us. We got Antoine Sampson from Columbus in here with us. Absolutely. So we appreciate Diane Collins, the VIP. How's Diane doing this evening? We still have to get over to Tim and Diane's, I believe, for that show at their patio area, okay? Because they got this nice outdoor setup, similar to what I got back here with the TVs, but theirs is outdoors. They got it all going on, so we gotta make that happen. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Georgia Players Section here on UGA Sports YouTube channel, the largest Georgia outlet there is out there, and it's because of you guys, and we appreciate you tuning in. If you don't watch us here every week on the YouTube channel, look there behind me. You can catch us on Spotify, okay? Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your stuff at. So lots of different ways to consume the content. Knowshon, the winds of change are blowing here through the SEC. We got Texas and Oklahoma that are on the horizon. They got one more year to enjoy the Big 12, and I do say enjoy because when they come to the SEC, it's going to be a whole different animal over there. And some whispers are starting to come out about what the schedule could look like, things like that. I'm going to throw it up here in a minute, but just based off of kind of what we've talked about, everybody, the 9-game schedule, maybe permanent opponents and stuff like that. What was a guy who played in the SEC, and of course we'll get TK's as well as he was in the same division, same conference as you. What are your thoughts about some of the way the league's going and maybe these permanent opponents, that kind of stuff?
I love it. It's just love that everything's expanding. I love that we get some fresh meat into the conference. You know what I mean? When Texas and them boys come into town, and it's a little bit of you hear some whispers and some stirrups over there with Archie over there with Manning. Hear some good things about him. So can't wait to see what he does. But yeah, it's good to get some new opponents. And I mean, I'm not really. We'll dive into the the schedule and the teams that is going to be permanent, but it's something new. when things are new, people don't really like to jump on it right away. But at the same time, it gives a fresh look on things. It gives some other teams an opportunity, and we'll see what comes from that. Maybe a bigger playoff, maybe down the road. But it's something different, and I like it.
Yeah, well, you mentioned bigger playoff, TK. It's going to expand to a 12-team playoff in 2024 when this schedule, if this is indeed the permanent 3, these are the 3 that were leaked in a report by Ross Dellinger out there. And, it is it's interesting to see because, TK, you could very likely, once it goes to 12 teams, you could see 3 or 4 SEC teams in that playoff every year.
Yeah, I mean – yeah, I mean, I think if once it goes to 12 teams, that's probably what will very likely happen. Especially looking at this list, you see, it's just a challenging schedule. I mean, I wanted to pose the question to y'all: who has the easiest of the three permanent teams? And I mean, every one looks kind of tough to me, but. Easiest? I don't know. Who y'all looking at that list? Who do y'all think has the easiest of the permanent 3?
I mean, winning percentage wise, you would probably have to look at Missouri down there because they get Vanderbilt and Arkansas. I feel like they beat Arkansas last year, and Oklahoma is not what Oklahoma was. I think Missouri, if those end up being their permanent 3, Knowshon, your Tigers that you've got there in for a good run.
Yeah, I was looking at them. I mean, yeah, that they have a good shot if that's going to be the case. And I was looking at also Arkansas. I mean, you see Texas in there, but at the same time, I mean, well, and Ole Miss, but I don't know. Yeah, you can't, I guess, compete with that. And the Missouri schedule right there.
Yeah, Mizzou 100%. But then there's teams like a Georgia who not a lot changes for that aspect.
Nah.
Like Auburn, Kentucky, that doesn't change anything. South Carolina, that necessarily that.
You guys playing at Georgia. I was going to ask you, what is your thoughts on Kentucky being one of the permanent 3 and not Tennessee? Because I feel like when I think of biggest rivals for Georgia, obviously Alabama has grown into that because they're the 2, perennial powers in the nation. But I don't think that people would think about them being a permanent opponent. But I do think when you think about Georgia's rivals, I think you think about Auburn, you think about Florida, and you think about Tennessee. We want to know your guys' thoughts in the chat as well. Tim Collins said, can we switch out Kentucky for Tennessee? So kind of thinking along the same line. I mean, what is your guys' thoughts about, okay, you get Kentucky every year instead of Tennessee?
Yeah, I in my eyes, I don't know about you, Sauce. I think Tennessee's a bigger game than a Kentucky game historically. Even when we were there, I think that game just had a little more juice to it. So I mean, if you're doing it from that perspective, from those optics, I would say yeah. But now, I mean, Kentucky's not no slouch. Like Kentucky's a good team. That Coach Stoops got that defense playing real well. They've got one of the really good quarterbacks, according to Blayne, coming in over there. So I mean, those guys aren't a slouch. So, but to your point, Tim, I think that would be a great swap out, Tennessee for those guys, or even in South Carolina, like Antoine's saying right there. So I mean, Kentucky for me. So how you feel about Kentucky?
Yeah. It was the same thing for me. I mean, and really just going back to that 12, team playoff. You're saying that, we'll have 3 SECs in it. I feel like we have that now. We damn near there now. So, yeah, for sure we would have 3 or more in the playoffs. And to the schedule, yeah, I would like to see that switch up there with Tennessee and Kentucky. But at the same time, does this mean that we'll never play these other schools ever?
No.
Because I love that.
These are just the permanent 3, and then of course, there's going to be 9 total, so you're going to get 6 that rotate.
Okay, all right.
That rotate. So
because honestly, if you think about it, any given year these teams can be dynamic. Yeah. Tennessee came out of nowhere. And now we're talking about them. And the same thing with Kentucky. So I feel like any of these teams, any year, can just be that team they beat, right? And then they'll be in your conference. So you're like, crap. I mean, Florida. I mean, you always think of Florida having a great team. Yeah, they haven't in the past couple of years, but they're coming. They're gonna have to be coming soon. Pause.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yo, you mentioned something earlier too, Knowshon. Like, I'm interested to see how these new teams, Texas, OU, how they get in, shake out into this thing. Texas, which of those two? Obviously, you mentioned earlier, Blayne. OU's not that good, but which of those two you think just comes into this and has immediate like success? Or if either you think either one of them can have any type of like immediate success? You think 500 at best?
I mean, I think they're going to struggle like Texas A&M did early on, just because I don't think that, Sark is starting to try to really recruit hard on the offensive line. And that was that's where Texas was hurt the most when they made the transition to Sark. But I think this year in the Big 12 is huge for Texas momentum wise, because if they can't capitalize on it this year, okay, if they can't take care of business this year, that last year in the Big 12, who knows, maybe Arch Manning, plays for him this year. There's already, Sark's already come out and said it's going to be open competition in the spring. I think that Texas is brand wise is a sleeping giant. They're a team that, if they could get a little momentum, that could help them out. But I feel like Oklahoma, it's going to be rough for them again this year. Like they lots of talent left. When Lincoln Riley went to USC, there was a mass exodus from that roster. And I just don't think – I think it's going to take them another couple years to recover. And I don't know that they're recruiting at high enough level under Brent Venables right now to really, get back into the thick of things. And, guys, I mean, I'll throw that up there again. Look at this with Texas A&M and Texas, and it's like the old Southwest Conference again. Back in the day, you got Texas and Arkansas. That used to be a huge rivalry. You got. I'm glad that they're going to put Texas and Texas A&M in there together, because Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher and company weren't very happy about this. They didn't want Hookem coming in there with them and interfering on their right to have the SEC patch on their memorabilia when they went into mom and daddy's house to recruit. They don't like that. They don't want Texas to have that same advantage. So I think that's an interesting dynamic there. Guys, 9-game schedule. Nick Saban has long been a proponent of it at Alabama. He's always said, hey, the more SEC games, the better competition, the better. But then this little thing comes out right here, and he sees Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU. He starts crying and says, how do we get stuck with those three teams? Like he's wanting to say poor pitiful Alabama. I don't understand how you can say that if you're Saban after the run that they've been on too.
I'll tell you what, though. Now that I look at it again, Alabama has Auburn as well, and so do we. How does that work? We both have them. They would have to maybe switch that out, huh?
No.
Okay. Look, TK, Tim Collins saying we need to organize a road trip when Georgia goes out to Austin, Texas. So we're going to – who's renting the bus? Knowshon, you going to drive a big bus out there?
Yeah. I'm down. You already know.
But what were you saying, TK?
But that's what I'm saying, though. You see how we both got them in there. That's not right. That can't be.
What are you talking about?
It's a typo.
No,
so how we got Auburn, right?
No,
and
everybody has three. So look, Auburn's going to play on theirs.
Oh, I kind of can see it. Okay,
Auburn's going to play Georgia.
Vandy.
Auburn's the one that's getting stuck in this one. Okay, they got to play Georgia and Alabama. Yes, they got to play Vandy. So it's almost like they're like, oh dang, they got to play Georgia and Alabama. We better give them Vandy. You know what I'm saying? Like they better.
They deserve to have Vandy. But I feel you. I feel you. I mean, on the other side of that, LSU's throw that back up there. LSU's wasn't no slouch either. A&M, Ole Miss, Bama. So look, bro.
Jason Council with a great point all the way from Hong Kong. He says Tennessee should play Florida. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. Tennessee and Florida every year. That's a great game every year.
That's a wild one.
Think about that atmosphere that they had last year up there. Great atmosphere.
They gave them Vandy. Yeah, that's
Interesting.
wild. Huh. All
Let me
right.
see Florida. Yeah, let me see what Florida.
So,
Well, this is not concrete yet, right?
It's not concrete, and it's not, it's not like these are gonna be set in stone. But man, I just don't understand. Some of these matchups, like Andy Stowe saying, why is Florida playing Oklahoma? What's going on there? Why is that a permanent? And then you also lose. Not only are you losing Tennessee, Florida every year, you're losing LSU, Florida. Remember the shoe throw game? LSU, Florida play every year, and that's always an intense game. So, you got to. There's going to be some that you miss, okay, and that's just how it goes. But overall, you guys think that one more SEC game, you guys played in it, okay? You guys played in the SEC, so you can speak to this. That's one more SEC game. I don't care if you're playing Vandy or if you're playing Georgia. There's going to be a level of physicality in the SEC. That's one more game of getting, banged up, beat up on, and now they've expanded the playoff. You could be playing 17 games if you're going all the way to the national championship game. Speak to what that's going to be like for college players.
Man, I think it's pretty tough. I mean, you there year round already, pretty much. So I think it's pretty tough, on their bodies, but even more so those guys that'll probably be leaving to go to the league because it ain't gonna stop for them. But yeah, it'll be tough, man. Like you said, you add another game to the schedule, and not just another game, a game that has high implications on it because it's an SEC game. One, and then two, you can't lose in our league to anybody. So I think it'll be tough on them. 17 games is tough on anybody.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, you
No, I'm going to talk about this in a minute.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What do you think on the schedule?
I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. I say it would be a head scratcher, and you'll raise your eyebrow to it if the guys weren't getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, all right, they're getting paid, they're there. You're like, all right, bet. It'd be another thing if you weren't getting paid and you putting your body in that much more, another game risk, some more risk, right? But at least they're getting paid, and then not only that, I feel like this will get you ready for the league as well, because the league added another game is also, and it's a longer season. So it's grueling on the body, of course, but in the long run, it's just going to be the same thing as the league, and it's going to get you prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I think it's going to be. Here's the thing that's tough about it. Okay, you're going to be having all this going on with multiple rounds of playoffs, and you expect guys to take finals at the same time and all that kind of stuff. Like the school part of it is what I'm like, okay, we're going to have to call it is what it is, and give these guys some kind of exemption or hold off their finals to a later time or something like, or I don't know how it's going to go, but it's going to be crazy with these teams that are, in the playoff run and all that kind of stuff. Tim Collins asked, are divisions going away? Yes, they get rid of divisions now. That is one thing that would be unique to the SEC that the Big Ten has not done. The Big Ten's had a 9-game schedule, but they've maintained divisions, and they've had one permanent crossover game. So, that is a little bit different there. Alex Page asked, TK Knowshon, how is the adjustment for you playing from 12 to 13 games in college and playing 16 in the NFL? So did you guys hit the rookie wall, so to speak, your first year in the league?
Yeah, I mean, I think it happens to folks. You just go from playing an entire season straight to combine training, straight to OTA, straight to mini camp, straight to training camp. So it just you never get a break. So I think probably around like week 13, 14 rookie year, you like, damn, this shit is you like, this shit is real. So I mean, it's a rookie wall, but it's just something that's, as Knowshon mentioned, that you got to deal with, and these guys will probably be equipped to deal with that, even more so having playing 17 games.
Knowshon, I mean, was it tough for you, man? And running back, that's a little bit now.
Yeah.
He's been fighting with a DB a lot of times.
You out there legs, you about to running.
But you got to think about them receivers. They be running all day long. So I mean. For a running back, your body gets sore, but it is what it is. We're used to that. And I mean, nothing nothing's better than game day, man. It gets you ready. And yeah, sometimes, the team might, take care of you towards the end of the season, especially if you make a run to the playoffs, take care of your body with, not having those padded practices and things like that. But, and then you just ready for the game. But we ain't running as much as the receivers, man. I bet them legs be wobbly at the end.
Bro, look, for real. We in New York one time, bro, and I'm on like all the little
special teams.
So
right.
I'm running down on Gunner. I'm running down Gunner, coming right back. Next rep, son. Running down again. Same thing. Kickoff, same thing. So we go in to work out after practice. They like, we got the GPS trackers on the stairs. Like, hey yo, you ain't got to work out today. That boy, I put the miles in that day, boy. That boy put the miles in, boy. Yeah.
But everyone's body. Yes,
yeah. No. You go. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, but everyone's body is sore. Yeah. No one's 100% and fully healthy towards that end of the season. It's just more of a grind, and like you see something in the future, you're like, yo, let's go get it.
Yep, gotcha.
Knowshon's over there saying, "Hey, coach, don't we need to practice some more blitz pickup right now instead of?"
I love it. That was my thing.
A little more stationary doing that,
for sure.
Antoine said he was talking to Andy. He said, "Hey, a South Carolina source said yesterday South Carolina doesn't want UG as their permanent." I can imagine so. Imagine when you go for it on fourth down and don't get it, and Kirby Smart yells at you, boom, blankety blank across the field to Shane Beamer. That's probably seared in his brain. He don't want no part of that. Okay, Rabbit Ears Beamer over there wants no part of it. I call him Rabbit Ears because that man hears one little whisper in the media about something, and he comes jumping all over him in the press conference. So Beamer, and probably I can see that, Antoine. So you guys have talked about your experience going from college to the NFL, just now, hitting the rookie wall, all that kind of stuff, body being sore. But listen, before you get there, you go to the combine, and we just had the NFL combine, and you get to work out. Before we get into some of these performances, just talk to people about what it's like. Here you are, you got your future laying out ahead of you, and you got all these, creepy old men watching you run around in your underwear. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this mindset like? You're out here having to do things, show how high you can jump, how fast you can run, and you're on TV, all this kind of stuff. And that literally it's affecting your paper at that moment. Yeah, how much money you make is kind of dependent on your results there.
I mean, definitely it's the biggest job interview in the world, I think. So I mean, you definitely know what's at stake, but you just spent 4 years preparing for it, and then 2 years really, or 2 months in essence, or 2 or 3 months in essence, really honing in on the craft of what you're doing that day. So I mean, it's just it's a fun day. There's obviously some nerves attached to it because of the implications, but it's a fun day. It's just I think it's another one of those dream come true moments for sure. So I think you just try to put your best foot forward in that aspect and do everything you can to perform at your best, because you already done did everything.
Knowshon?
Yeah, same, man. I agree with you, TK. I mean, it's just it's a crazy process, man. I mean, it ain't like you getting a full night's of sleep. All right, you probably up, you're not getting that much sleep, and then you're up early to do all the physicals. You know what I mean? You're going through all that. They're putting you through all those little drills. You're getting ready, and I mean, yeah, you're running them tights, but man, I practice in the tights. I like them, Jones. I was like, hey, let me show off a little bit. You feel me?
That was trying to do the.
Yeah, I practice in the tights. That shit was clean, but it was a crazy just the whole thing was just surreal. You know what I mean? You go in there to meet with these coaches. You know what I mean? They're asking you all these different questions. I mean, digging into your past, all that. What were you doing here at this time?
What was the weirdest question you got at the combine? I want to ask that. Do you remember the weirdest question that you got at the combine?
See, I know TK probably remember. I don't remember, but I remember them asking me like different situations that they might have seen pictures of, and like, what's this right here? What are you doing? I'm like, I'm just with the boys hanging. You know what I mean? Like things like that. What about you, T?
Yeah, definitely those. Obviously, Instagram just got popular and stuff like that. So definitely a couple, questionable photos, I guess you would say, with some bruise or something, and then just be like, "What y'all was doing?"
Most of Knowshon's involved Matthew Stafford.
We was yeah. I mean, we was kicking it or whatever. Some guys, I heard stories about crazy stuff. I don't know, like you cheat on your girlfriend, like, or something. I don't know, stuff like that. Like, but nothing crazy. I can't remember nothing too crazy that was asked from me.
Yeah, they don't get too wild, but I mean, yeah, they definitely dig in your past a little bit, and they just kind of want to know what they're getting into, and I understand that. But it's an awesome process, just going in there and letting these coaches get to know you as a person, get to know your personality. You can kind of, chop it up with them a little bit, and then you go out there, and it's drill time, baby. And it's like, I love that time because it was like competition, and I love competition, and it was like, yo, let's go out here and compete. Not only with each other, but we're trying to get somewhere. You know what I mean? We want to showcase what we can do. So I loved it, and I just took that opportunity to just kind of enjoy it, not be too nervous about it. You know what I mean? I was catching balls from Stafford when I was just running around, things like that. So it was an awesome opportunity,
bro. You said the competitive part, bro. It was the craziest part about it. Like the first person to run a 40 in my class was Tavon Austin. So it was like, they go in alphabetical order. So like it was like Austin. So you warming up over there. Yeah, yeah. Man, all you see is so.
Yeah, he's just flying.
I was like, oh shit, what?
Flying.
And this start warming up a little harder. This is coming from a guy that put down a 4.47 on the pro day. So TK was flying 4.47. That's nice.
And this is the thing, though. I feel like they need to get it off those like the sideline. Like, it's slippery. It ain't the best traction on that white where they freaking paint it. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, they should at least move that off of there at some point. But they just love putting it there. I hate it there.
And listen, some of these numbers is kind of crazy, bro. I don't know if they're using the same. Because look, bro, how they getting this, and then the number go down. They did mine, and my number went up. So bro, they ain't using the same.
Absolutely,
just throw that out.
They different out there. But listen, this is the thing though. When it comes to that, real quick, is like, they running faster, but then when you look at the bench numbers, they're hella low. I'm like, okay, we training for speed now, not power anymore. I mean, it's just a different game, maybe.
It is a different game, though. You got to think about that. The game's spread out. It's more passing going on, a hell of a lot more passing going on. So, I mean, like, it's a different game. Yeah. So yeah.
I don't know.
Alex wants to know, TK and Knowshon, did you feel better going on pro day after going through the combine? So did you feel more relaxed doing the stuff on your pro day after the combine came and gone?
I didn't do anything but the drills at pro day, like quarterback drills. So I mean, I did everything at the combine. Like I ran at the combine, benched at the combine. So the only thing I did at my pro day was throw with John Rick. Shout out John Rick.
There we go.
Yeah. You know what? That's funny you asked that question because I was kind of thinking that when I was looking at the combine. I was like, all right, I did the combine. I did everything at the combine pretty much. I'm like, why did I even do anything else at pro day besides just drills? Because I think I've ran. Maybe I was just trying to get my 40 time faster. I don't think I jumped or anything like that. But yeah, no, it was just another day to go out there and showcase what you can do. You know what I mean? I love being on that stage and being like, yo, all right, here we go. Let's go out there and play ball. This is what we do. So I enjoyed it.
But that was cool. But I think pro day was cooler too, though, because all your boys was there. Like everybody wasn't at the combine. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody didn't get to go to the combine. And then too, folks come out from class. You know what I'm saying? And watch. So I mean, it was just
hyping you up a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. So it was just a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
All right, man. Sounds good. Sounds good. That. Now we're gonna go with stock up, stock down. Okay, on these guys. And listen, some of these guys, we're gonna touch on the Georgia Bulldogs first because it was a unbelievable showing for some guys. So we're just gonna real quick go stock up, stock down, give a little bit of reason for each guy why we think we can disagree on some. I'm sure we will disagree on some, but we're gonna be throwing that out there, and then at the end of it, we're gonna give our top 5 personal list of all the SEC guys. But like we said, Georgia guys first, then we'll go to the rest of the SEC. And guys, if there's anything you just feel real strong about, you just tell me to hit the Dos Zapatos button.
Yeah.
If there's anything you feel real strong about, come on.
What's wrong with him?
So first one, stock up, stock down. I think everybody knows the question of this one. Nolan Smith set the combine on fire.
And you can't show no highlights, huh? Because this thing is copyright.
Yeah. We'll lose monetization on it, my man. You know what I'm saying?
We need that. We need the monies. Check this out. Dude. Yeah, obviously stock up. I mean, I think we all just gonna have to say stock up. I don't think I knew Brett was rolling like he was rolling, and to do it at 238. Stop.
He takes the Nicholas off. He might run a 4.35. You know what I'm saying? Instead of 4.39.
Yeah, he got a little
girth.
Him and Knowshon. I see Knowshon. Y'all, hey, put Knowshon on the thing. Man, I see you over there. You go, baby. Go up there.
Go get some.
Yeah, boy.
You done, T? Oh, well, shit. Listen, I'm going to go. All right. Same here, man. Of course. Stock up, man. I mean, the man ran a 4.3. It's crazy. And not only that, the boy vert 41. I mean, it's out of this world, man. It's out of control. I didn't know he was that fast either. But not only that, man, the man's jumping, right? So it's kind of crazy to me to, if you look at those mock drafts and stuff like that, he ain't in that first round sneaking in, because I mean, I feel like he could sneak in there somewhere. But
I've seen in mock draft, and this is the one, being a guy, from the Atlanta area, they say the Falcons could take him all the way up at number 8. And if they do, I think that's a home run fit for the Falcons.
I don't think you can go wrong with it. I mean, I would have liked to have seen him do some drills, though. I didn't see him doing any drills. But I mean, I guess after you run like that and everything else looks so good,
you run that, you say screw it.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think he's gonna do it at pro day, right? So then, at least the coaches and people get to see how he flips and see how he moves and stuff like that. But other than that, man, yeah, for sure, stock up.
Absolutely. Another one, man. Goodness gracious. Big Darnell Washington. They said right under 6'7", but yet he's going and standing on the field. He even posted a picture on Instagram. He said, I'm only 6'6", 6'7", and he's standing beside a guy who they measured at 6'8", and he was like taller than him over there. So, I mean, I don't know if the NFL got the measurement right on Darnell, but goodness gracious, this catch right here, unbelievable, stock through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah, no questions asked. I mean, you turn on any social media platform, this kid right here is everywhere. Yeah, I mean, he had a hell of a day. I think there was a clip of him pushing the sled and then other tight ends pushing the sled.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit just looked crazy. I was like, yo, come on. But obviously there's some more technique there. Got to get better with the feet a little more quicker. But obviously explosiveness there. Route running there, catch radius. He's showing it in his photo.
Look at that shuttle. That shuttle was the third fastest of every player at the combine. I mean, that quickness. Now, I did tell Knowshon, him and I were talking on the phone this week. I was like, well, he took 2 steps and he was halfway there on one of the shuttles. But I mean, that's quick, Knowshon.
Bro, it's impressive. Just at his size, just be able to get down there and get out of those breaks and run that time. And I mean, he, as you hear things from the combine and he's saying all the right things, pretty much telling these coaches like, hey, I want to be another lineman, but hey, you can also throw me that rock. And he's showing it right there. And he showed it in all his drills. And yeah, he's not the fastest guy in the world, but Gronk wasn't the fastest dude either, but he was getting open and he can catch the rock. Stock up, baby. Go get him. Stop playing.
Big Broderick Jones ran the fastest 40 of any offensive lineman, a 4.97, and he's throwing that 40 time down and that impressive 10-yard split at 311 pounds. And he don't look at 311 pounds. This man is carrying that weight well. I think he could add another 10 pounds and still keep his athleticism in there. Somebody's going to get a left tackle. I think he's going to be the first left tackle off the board. Yeah,
bro. You said something when you said he carries his weight well, bro. Like watching him in his interviews, I was like, damn, he looks thin. But 311, weighing in at 311, great size. Obviously, the quickness is there. I think that 10-yard split for a big dude that size is crazy. So yeah, bro, he's gonna make somebody extremely happy. Another dog with high stock up, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go stock up as well. Yeah, the speed and the time speaks for itself, but I love the way that he looked in those drills. They had a couple pull-in drills that they were putting all the linemen in, and he was getting around them cones quick and getting up that field. And you know, all the GMs and everyone was looking at that like, we can do something with that, right? So yeah, man, stock up, bro. I mean, love the way that he did it. And hey,
and I don't think he gave up, but maybe one sack during his time starting at Georgia. Like he was excellent in pass pro. Sometimes he's got to get a little bit more behind him, bring that punch a little bit more on run blocking type stuff. But I'm telling you, they throw those screens and he gets out on the perimeter. Right. You see that 10-yard split so quick and he can block out in space. That's part of the game now in the NFL with these quick screens and the RPOs and all that kind of stuff, and getting the linemen out in space to block on the screen game. Tremendous right
Yeah,
here.
I feel like, and not only that, I mean, yeah, you talked about he needs to bring something a little more in the run game, but I feel like in the league that they are scheming it up and they are doubling a lot that, get him out. He won't be on one-on-one that much in the league. So stock up. My fault. I just wanted to put that out there.
No. Here's those three were easy. Here's where we may have a little disagreement. Okay. Stetson Bennett the fourth. All right. Vertical, higher than Keely Ringo's, which I don't know how much that says for Keely Ringo.
I can't give him
that. Broad jump. Fun fact. Knowshon, you and TK, y'all beat Stetson Bennett in just about every category, except this man got y'all in the broad.
He got us both in the broad?
He got you both in the broad.
I need to talk to whoever was measuring.
What I go in the broad?
Well, I know he got Knowshon. TK, you may have beat him. I think you might have.
Homie,
you had to go
something 10.
That's what I'm saying.
But his shuttle was impressive.
He might have got me in the shuttle.
His shuttle was impressive. He was top 9 out of all positions in the shuttle in the combine, and that's a lot of guys there at the combine. So we knew that Stetson Bennett was quick in a short area. I think it was impressive that he showed off when they did the radar gun. There was throw the ball as hard as you can. He got 59 miles an hour, which was tied with CJ Stroud and Will Levis. Nobody questioned their arm going into the deal. And then he threw the deep ball well. I'm going to say stock up. What do you guys say about Stetson Bennett?
I don't know why we doing the whole like how fast can you throw the ball? Shit.
Right.
Ain't nobody really trying to. Well, you better take some shit off that. Number one, 60. Chill out. We gonna reel it in though. But
like my fingers.
Yeah, chill out, my boy. I do think he had a very, very impressive showing. Not from a 40 standpoint. I thought he would run faster than that. But I think his freaking on the field workout was impressive. I think he dropped some dimes. I think the way he threw the deep ball accuracy was very impressive. He probably wasn't happy with just one of those, and it was just slightly off in from what I saw, but it wasn't really off. The kid didn't break stride. So I mean, just an impressive outing from him. Looked like he had complete command. Looked like he had rapport with dudes that he didn't even know. So it was and that in itself I think speaks volumes. So I think stock up. I think stock up for Stetson. I think he definitely
oh boy
got some money.
Oh boy,
you guys are
here we go.
You're funny. All right, I think it was a decent performance. It was a good performance from him. I think he went out there. He showed them that he has an arm. We all talked about that deep ball. I think he put all those deep balls on the money. Love to see that. Yeah, he was shaky in some of the drills. I mean, in the goal line drill, he was a little bit shaky. He threw a couple balls out of bounds on the jump ball. You know what I mean? You didn't like to see that very much, but bro, he was putting it on the money. The numbers aren't anything that blows me out of the water. You guys said that you thought he would run faster. He's at where I thought he would be. But it was good to see that he would at least put the ball where he wanted to put it, you know what I mean? And he did it throughout the season as well. So I can't go stock up and I can't go stock down. So, I mean, I think it was a good showing. I think his stock stays where it's at. Maintains. He didn't hurt himself. You know, he didn't go out there and, I mean, there was a couple of throws from Will Levis where I was like, whoa, he can't really throw the out route that cleanly. And then, you know, Max Duggan, I'm like, whoa, Max Duggan overthrew a couple deep balls. So, I mean, you can maybe look at their performance and say that they kind of messed up their stock. Chris Stetson, he didn't do that. And I think he just stays pretty even.
Bro.
No shot. Rookie card on eBay.
Bro, tell me this, Sauce. What could have made this man stock rise, bro? Like, could a 4.5 have helped him out?
I think so, because I mean, Max Duggan ran a 4.5. You would think that Stetson's faster than him.
Dookie.
He did. You asked me about the 40. I'm saying you would think he's as fast as Max. You know what I mean? But he didn't show that way. I
will say this
too.
4.67, almost a 4.7.
Did y'all watch Stetson run the 40 though?
Yeah, he didn't look like he was running. It didn't
look like he was like giving it everything he's got. It's almost like he was like, I don't want to pop a hammy. I got to throw well or something like that.
Right.
I don't know what his deal was.
And maybe that's what it was. He was more saying to himself, bro, I'm just going to focus on my throwing. They know who cares if I run a 4.5. You know what I'm saying? And he went out there, like I said, he threw the ball really well. The deep ball looked super impressive. So no hurt on this stock. I think it just stays where it's at. I don't see any teams being like, bro, what are we gonna do? Stetson's still out there. We got to go up, and grab him. It's just one of those things where.
But that's what the world saying. The world said, Blayne. That's what the Stetson fans saying. He pulled up, right?
Yeah.
He was scared he was gonna pop them 25-year-old hammies.
I don't know, but there is one thing I do know.
She don't want that 2-footed bad boy. She don't want that Dos Zapatos animal. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, Stetson Bennett helped himself out more than anybody could know with that on-field performance. There's reports out there, the Dolphins, the Ravens, because listen, Lamar Jackson ain't going to be with the Ravens. He's going to end up somewhere else. And, Stetson kind of knows a guy that's there at the Ravens now with Todd Monk and things like that. The Raiders, lots of teams that were impressed with that performance there. My Dos Zapatos prediction is that Stetson Bennett does not make it out of the 4th round. He won't dip into the 5th round. He's gonna go 4th round or higher. Man, that is my Dos Zapatos prediction.
You ain't really standing on that. You should go 3rd because that's what I thought he was projected to go.
Yeah, I can't really give you that, bro. Like that.
I would give him 3rd. I would give him 3rd, but I think his little Dallas door knocking incident's gonna cost him a little bit, just out of principle. I don't know that.
I can give you that though. I see 4th, Blayne. 4th, 5th. Yeah, I see it. I can see that happening. I keep on going back to it. I think he had a really good performance on the field. But it was some of those drills where it wasn't clean, it wasn't crisp. 4th round, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, Alex says Will Levis, Duggan, Stetson, all QBs that will look better at their respective pro games because they'll be throwing with guys that they've been throwing with for a while. Yeah, so that TK, you can speak to that. So the familiarity there.
Yeah, 100%. When you get back to your pro day, you're gonna be throwing with your quarterback, or a guy like in my case that you've been working with, like a John Rick. So yeah, you're gonna have that rapport with him, and it's just gonna be seamless. So yeah, everybody's gonna look good at their pro day, I think. As long as you doing the easy thing, it ain't nothing but routes on there.
Absolutely. Kenny McIntosh. Stock up, stock down.
Why you ain't go first?
Oh, my okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have to say stock slightly down just a little bit because I was expecting a little bit more from him. I want to see not necessarily a faster 40 time, who cares? But some of those drills weren't super crisp. I know he can catch the ball at the backfield. He looked good at catching the ball and getting upfield. I would like to see him do some more drills, though, just to see where those numbers would be. Maybe he'll do it at the pro day. So just for now, I'm just going to give a slight notch down on him because some of those other running backs, man, were looking very crispy. Love to see it. And I was just expecting a little bit more from my man.
Yeah, TK, go ahead.
Same for me. You said no. You said nothing about the 40. Damn.
Yeah, I think that's real disappointing for Kenny.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought he would run really well.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, and maybe he'll run again at pro day. I think, or maybe
Yeah, for sure.
possibly
For sure.
because I think I don't know if he's probably happy with the 4.6 too.
Mm-mm.
I bet he don't think Stetson right there with him like that. you know what I'm saying? Like they like
I
Yeah,
thought he'd
like,
run faster because the only thing that stopped him in that Ohio State game was the grass. You know, I mean, the turf monster
true,
got him.
bro. I really think he's faster than that. So he'll run again. I think as of now though, I think stock probably a little down because as Knowshon mentioned, those other backs look good.
Yeah, when he was in his kind of prime run there with Georgia after that Florida game, where he fumbled, but then he came back and strung together 3 or 4, 5 really good games in a row. There was some talk that he could go like kind of like James Cook did last year and go second round or things like that. But now I think he slips down more in that 4th, 5th round range. I really do. I think his stock dropped a little bit coming out of that one.
Yep.
Big Kenny Mack fan though, like
for
like,
sure.
Love how he
he's a
plays
player.
the game.
Yeah.
Love how he plays the game, but
Well,
hey,
listen.
not everybody can get drafted up high, you know.
Right,
I mean,
and at the same time, it's going to be a steal for someone. I mean,
Right,
you might not
100%.
get drafted high, but it's going to be a steal. It's almost like being like a Pacheco for Kansas City. I mean, he wasn't drafted super high. I bet it was a beast.
no doubt. Keely Ringo, this one is interesting here because he didn't jump that great as I think he would have liked to have jumped. Okay, and that to some people, right? The vertical, the broad jump, it's a test of explosiveness of things like that. Now he's got the straight line speed, but the knock has always been that Keely's a little stiff in the hips, right? He's not been able to open up, find the ball, that kind of stuff at different times. You know, what is your guys' thoughts on? I mean, 4.36 is flying, but what are you guys' thoughts on Keely's stock?
For me, it's the knock. You mentioned the hips. I think in watching his on-field workouts, his hips looked really fluid. It looked like he's been working on that aspect of his game, like the drill where you flip your hips and you got to stay down the line. Like he did that very fluidly, very perfectly. Changed the direction, was on point. We know that's there, but as you mentioned, the vertical, I'm a little disappointed in that vert. But he's a playmaker, bro. I think that his film kind of speaks for itself. Stock up, stock down, stock the same.
Yeah, you're gonna hold. So you think he's still a mid first round guy?
That's what they have him.
Yeah, mid first round is kind of where he's been, but going into this process, I think he might slip to later first round. Honestly, a little bit, just a little bit.
I'm thinking he might go in the second round. So yeah, I think his stock dropped a little bit.
Hold on. How you feel about that? Can we 10-toe you? Can I 10-toe him?
That's not 10-toe worthy.
I mean,
I don't think you can do it. I just think
you hit it.
I'm good because I just think there's a lot of players that you can go in that first round. I mean, that I saw on that field that looked really, really, really good. So I didn't know that they had him in the first. I say he's going to be a second, maybe an early second. I would like what TK said. I would have liked to have seen the vertical a little higher because I mean, you got to think about it, man. You jump in with jumpers out here in the league, and you got that speed, and he looked good in his drills. Once he got his hands on the ball, he did explode, and he showed that speed. But man, I just want you to be jumping a little bit higher, especially at that corner position.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's interesting to see how, like, in his second 40 time was not as good as his first 40 times. So I mean, I don't know. I was a little kind of put back by his performance a little bit. Now we're going to go with guys who were not Georgia guys. We're going to the rest of the SEC because as we have here, you'll see in our logo, players section with SEC highlighted there in black because we cover all SEC here.
True.
Anthony Richardson absolutely went bananas at the combine. I mean, did things that quote unquote quarterbacks, so we'll see, aren't supposed to do. Okay. 4.43, 40 and a half on the vert, 10.9 broad. I mean, the dude was setting records right and left. He was throwing the pill. I mean, just absolutely slinging it down the field because we knew he had the arm strength. What are your guys' thoughts on Anthony Richardson's performance?
Man, first of all, he threw it 60 miles per hour. He need to take a little bit off that. Secondly, well, stock up. Ain't no questions about it. He 100%, I think, stole the show at the combine because of the questions around him. And all eyes were on him, and he performed flawlessly. So I mean, definitely stole the show. I gotta say, stock up in that aspect. 4.43, 40.5, and the vert is crazy. The broad is insane. I mean, the dude, yeah, he's a freak, bro. So I mean, you gotta think that somebody's gonna take a chance on him. Somebody believes and sees the potential in his ability, and yeah, dude, I stock up.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Knowshon.
Definitely stock up for me. I was looking, man. You gotta think everyone was looking very closely at those passing drills. I was like, bro, let me see. I gotta see it. And man, he came out and he showed out, man. I think he threw the ball really well, especially the deep ball, like we said. And he just looked like he was comfortable back there doing it. Yeah, his sample size isn't very huge, right? Yeah, he hadn't played that many games, but you can see it if you have any kind of imagination. If you have any kind of faith in your coaching, you know what I mean? You would look at a guy like that and be like, bro, I think I can do something with that. Listen, we drafted Tebow in the first, okay? And everyone knew he couldn't throw. All right. So listen, yeah, he was winning chips and he was winning, but we took a chance on Tebow. Listen, someone has to pick this guy up.
A little bit different here because I'm just telling you, I think his stock is up, but because of that, he's going to get somebody fired, okay? Because they're going to take him way too high, and then they're going to try to force him to play too early, and it's going to go south. I mean, he needs to go somewhere that has an established quarterback that he can learn from, because it's the fact that not that he can't throw, he can run, but there was way too many times, and I talked to actually a couple of SEC coaches this week about Anthony Richardson. I went and got some insight from somebody who's more educated than myself, and they said the number of times that Anthony Richardson threw late into coverage in the flat against like cover 3 or a cloud corner in cover 2 and got picked off on things like that was alarming. Like that's something that high school quarterbacks should know how to do.
Yeah, so, it's a little bit with the coaching. There was a lot of turmoil, a lot of things going on at Florida at the time as well. I mean,
C. Taylor says he's got to make the Florida staff nervous if he gets drafted high too, because they'll be like, "What? Y'all couldn't do nothing with a top 10 pick."
Yeah, boys sleep on him. Yeah, you know what? It's good that people are down on him, man. I think. Listen, is he better than Justin Fields right now? I would take him right now over Justin Fields.
I would take him over Justin Fields right now.
This is what I'm saying. So I feel like the coach should get him underneath his.
I can't give y'all that,
bro. Put him underneath your wing, man. Teach the man the game and let him develop.
Right now, and if they backpedal, what y'all just say?
Yes, I would take him over Justin Fields. Justin Fields didn't have a great season this year. Yeah, he ran the hell out of the ball. So can AR, and I feel like AR can throw that thing. What? Tell me something. Tell me something that I didn't see.
We just watched AR-15, man.
Yeah, that's different.
I'm just saying. I think that when it comes down to it, the interview process and all this kind of stuff, that AR, he knocked it out of the park. He did great. I think it's all about the situation he gets put in. Justin Fields, the reason I'd take him over Justin Fields is because Justin Fields was Chicago Bears, and they are awful. They are awful.
That ain't his fault.
That ain't his fault.
Just like it wasn't Anthony Richardson's fault that the team was trash and he was doing stuff that he did for Florida. Man, I'm telling you. All right.
Here's a guy.
I said stock up, man. I'm with him.
Yeah, me too.
I said stock up, but he's gonna get somebody fired. Here's the we need to go rapid fire on these so we can make it through the rest of them, get to our top 5. Owen Papo, stock up, stock down.
Oh, for me.
Yeah,
100% bought out. That's crazy. Anytime you got somebody just coming off the edge like that, running 4.39, it's scary, bro. And then again, that Burt Broad shows the explosiveness. So boom, yeah, stock up.
Like it, stock up as well. He showed his versatility. He looked good in his drills. Boy was running crazy. I think a lot of teams can use him. That's why I think, stock up. And I mean, I don't know where they're getting this Ringo thing from. I would have picked this guy on my line or one of my linebackers over like a Ringo right now. So yeah, stock up. Let's get it.
Listen, one of the few Grayson prospects that actually stuck it out at the school that they went to. So respect to Owen Papo for staying at Auburn all 4 years.
Derek Hall did well as well. Also, Hall did good as well. I don't know if we're gonna talk about Hall, but yeah, Hall. But Derek Hall, right? Derek Hall went crazy.
We're just highlighting some of these dudes. Emmanuel Forbes, stock up, stock down.
I'm gonna say stock up. 4.35 is blazing, obviously. Better vert than Keely Ringo. Broad better. I mean, but the only thing that obviously hurts him is he got to tackle people. He weighed 166 pounds.
Listen,
I ain't trying to do that shit, my G.
You want to know why he ran so fast? They told him a cheeseburger was at the end of that thing. That man only weighs 166 pounds. He's got to eat. Like, they're not feeding him out there in Starkville. What's going on?
Listen, when you that small, you got to hit ankles, my boy. So, yeah. But I mean, he'll obviously they'll put some weight on him, and he'll gain some weight.
But I think everybody agrees. Knowshon, you agree? Stock up on him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go stock up because how crispy he looks in his breaks and catching the ball. And cornerbacks say it all the time. They be like, they don't be paying me to tackle, so he gonna be paid to cover, and that boy can cover the way that he looked in those drills.
Absolutely. All right, you got Jahmyr Gibbs looking like he just walked out of Wakanda over here. I mean, what is going on? Like, he's got a Superman look going on. Superhero look over here. But Jahmyr Gibbs, of course, showed out at the combine.
Yeah, showed out. Stock up for me. He looked really good, man. How crispy he looked in those running back drills. He was up there with Robinson over there at Texas. I feel like he was running crazy. So it's 1 and 2 with those two running backs for me. But I think stock up. He ran fast. He looked good in his drills. He caught the ball well. Stock up. Let's get it.
TK, does he not look like a Marvel character right here? Like, this look here, man.
He don't just look like it. He acted like it. All day long. So yeah, stock up for me.
I was surprised how quick he was looking in and out those bags, man.
Yeah. That jump cut after the bags, that jump cut. I was like, oh, what? Feet.
Interesting too. He gave Tashard Choice, former Georgia Tech running back coach, the credit for developing him. He didn't really give Alabama much credit for developing him. He gave it to Tashard Choice. Here's a guy that Georgia fans are familiar with, Matt Landers. Matt Landers had himself a day, fellas.
Where was he projected?
I don't know where he's projected before, but when you're 6'4", 200 pounds and run a 4.37 and jump 37 inches with a 10-10 broad, you just had yourself a day. And I'm telling you, there's going to be somebody that says, hey, I can take a 6'4" guy and put him out wide and let him run that 9 route, TK.
Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't know bro was that blazing like that. I knew he could run. 4.37 though, probably just got him some money. So stock up for sure. Like you said, somebody's gonna like that. So yeah, he made some bread.
Heck yeah, stock up for me. 6'4". I mean, like you said, you could put him anywhere on that field and he's running. He looked decent I didn't even really see him too much in the drills for some reason. I don't think he did much of the drills, but you can't deny, that speed. You know what I mean? So stock up.
Yeah, here's the thing. This is what the transfer portal is all about and supposed to be like. Matt Landers had a rough deal at Georgia, a lot of drops, things like that. He goes to Toledo, absolutely balls out, resurrects his career, then goes to Arkansas, does some good things. So you got to feel good for Matt Landers and that story right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kayshon Boutte. All of us loved him at LSU, but he had a forgettable day at the combine, guys.
Yeah. Stock down, obviously for me, but because I think because of how the year was and because of the hype he had around him, I think was supposed to have a great combine. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm gonna go stock down.
Yeah, stock down for me as well. I didn't see him in any of the drills. I want to see these boys out. And you know what they need to do? All right, Combine, if y'all looking at this, y'all listening, they need to, when they doing the quarterback drills, I need to know what receiver that is. They need to just put a little, maybe their name with their, school logo underneath them. Because I would love to see who are running those routes out there because they all look crispy. But I didn't see him out there in the 20. That can't be right, 29 on the vert. That's not real.
These boys got bounced.
Listen,
no, 29.
This is the first.
Joking.
This is the first person that I've come across one of their metrics that I was able to beat at one point in time. I jumped higher than 29.
All right, Blayne. I'm gonna have to see that. I'm gonna have to see that, Blayne. I'm gonna have to.
It's on the. It used to be on the board out there at North Hall. Things have progressed over there. The weight training has changed.
Guys, is that real? 29?
That was a 29.
He wasn't really trying, man. There's no way. Okay, so hopefully he does better.
I think Ben Jones jumped 29.
Dang, old hog nose.
There's a lineman.
There's
a lineman that jumped, I think 37, 38.
37 from BYU.
Yeah,
the leaping Mormon over there with the jump.
I got bounced for real.
Absolutely. Jaden Hazelwood. Listen, he's from Atlanta, from Ellenwood down there with Cedar Grove, and I just don't think he had a good day. 4.66. He's not. It's not like he's some 6'6" guy. You need to be able to get in and out of breaks, and the shuttle was not impressive. The 40 time. I think Jaden Hazelwood. I don't know. I think he could have stayed at Arkansas for another year. Personally, guys.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. Stock probably down for me. I mean, that 4.66 probably hurt him a good bit, for sure. Yeah.
And that used to not be a terrible time for receivers, but the way it is now, all the receivers are running like in the low 4.4s and under. Like it's like the speed of the game has just picked up tremendously.
Yeah, boys learn how to getting in and out of that thing, man.
Right. And if you look super, you can kind of get away with that if you look super crisp in your drills. You know what I mean? I didn't really hear it stand out to me. Not more than some of the other guys that were out there doing the drill. So, stock down for me.
Another familiar name for the Georgia Bulldogs. Old Brenton Cox. Okay. Here we go. 4.82 at 250. Whereas Nolan Smith, okay, who was also an edge at Georgia, a guy that, came in around the same time. Cox was a little bit ahead of him, and man, good grief. That I think
stock Dizzle.
Stock down, but that combined with getting kicked off the team at Florida this year, when you get kicked off the team in college, you need to come out and have a really, really good combine, and that just unfortunate for Brenton Cox wasn't the case.
Yeah, everything. Stock down. Everything.
Yeah, stock down. And hopefully, he showed them what kind of man he is in those meeting rooms. But yeah, his numbers didn't speak for him, and I didn't even notice him out there.
Yep. I didn't even know.
I didn't even notice him out there.
I'm just, hopefully he crushed those in those meetings, with those coaches, and just showed them that he is actually a good person, and maybe he has something to explain.
Tank Bigsby. I think everybody liked him in college, and he knows how to run the football.
Yeah,
didn't run as fast as I thought Tank would run. I thought he had a little bit more top level speed than that.
Yeah, I thought that maybe he would run a little faster, but it was what it was. I wasn't super. He didn't stand out to me like super crispy out there in those drills. Listen, your eyes don't
because
lie.
You didn't have that cowboy collar on.
Yeah.
No, he's talking about Brenton Cox on that one. Sorry.
Okay.
I was about to say.
But Tank wasn't super impressive to me. He did catch the ball okay. He showed a little bit of burst, but man, the eyes were definitely on a lot of other guys in that running back group. So I'm gonna say, I guess, stock the same. I can't say it went down because go ahead.
I was gonna say, is this the case, Knowshon? As a guy who ran the ball in the NFL, that Tank Bigsby can run the football. So Is this the thing where people are just like, listen, we know what he is, we know how he is. You gotta you just got to trust the tape on a guy like Tank Bigsby.
I think so. I mean, like I said, he didn't hurt himself. It's just it wasn't like some of the other guys that we saw out there.
TK, what do you think about Tank?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say stock the same. I mean, obviously, I thought he was a little faster than him, just like Kenny Mack. I thought he was a little faster than that.
Mm-hmm.
But the tape speaks for itself. My man just said, "How do you not draft a guy named Tank?"
Yeah, you got to.
He is that, bro. He's shown that he's been reliable in a tough league for a long time. So I mean, I think his tape speaks for itself.
If you guys had to pick out of him and Kenny Mack, which one would you go with?
Oh, I'd take Tank Bigsby. I mean, just because I think I like the way Tank runs the football. I'm not sure Kenny. I think Kenny's going to be more of a third down back. I think that's how Kenny's going to be used. He can pass protect, and he can get out and catch the ball in space. I just don't know that he's ever going to be that, guy. I mean, you were able to be in there on first and second down though, Sean. Like you could run between the tackles and stuff like that. And I think Kenny can do that, but I don't think it's his strong suit.
Got it. Yep.
Great point. Yeah. Nope. Right there with you.
Maybe we can get an NFL GM on with us or something one day. Call you guys up that in the league. Let's get them on. Let's get in front of guys. All right, time for our top fives real quick. Knowshon, we're gonna lead off with you, my man.
Yeah, man. I don't think anyone can deny what Anthony Richardson did at the combine. Yeah, okay, his sample size of playing games, and he made some suspect throws in the game play, but we're talking about how they did at the combine, right? And he blew a lot of people out of the water. He looked really good. Had to go with him first. Gibbs, of course, like we talked about, he was going crazy in those running back cones and drills, getting in and out of his cuts, catching the ball. And the boy had that game face on. Love to see it. Had to go him at 2. Nolan Smith, woo, boy, was blazing, flying down the field. I mean, you always want some speed on defense, right? And you can back him up. He can play a little linebacker position, bring him back, let him come off the line, almost like Micah over there for the Cowboys. You cannot deny what he did at the combine. Turned a lot of heads, stock up. Nolan Smith at 3, baby. Then we got Owen Papo. You saw his time. He ran in the 4.3s, and he just looked really crisp. He looked strong. He looked crisp in his drills, showing that he can also play that linebacker position and maybe put his hand in the ground. So I had to put him at 4. And then last but not least, you could have kind of put him anywhere in that top 1 through 5, really, is Darnell Washington, man. Just love to see his hands. Just love to see how he ran. Man, that boy, his meetings with the coaches, from what I heard, went really well. Stock up, and I just love to see what he did out there, especially at that size 6'7". So Darnell at 5, baby.
Absolutely solid 5 right there. TK, talk about your 5.
Yeah, I mean, obviously similar. I think we all kind of might have been right there together. Nolan was obviously off the charts. What he did, and not just, I mean, we talked about his on-field stuff a lot. But if you watch some of the clips of him talking about just Georgia, he's a Georgia guy.
Yeah.
What a freaking Georgia guy, bro! Like for real. If you watch that and just the way he talks about his teammates, the way he talks about his game, he did well in those interviews. So he knocked those out of the park. Anthony Richardson, obviously that on the field stuff, the throwing helped him out tremendously. We knew he was going to run well. He's a freak. Anytime you give an athlete an opportunity to shine, they're gonna do that. And he did. Same with Jahmyr Gibbs, bro. Just another freak. Very impressive through the bags, as we mentioned earlier. Owen Papo, I think somebody's gonna get something really special in him. Didn't know bro was moving like he moved. Didn't know he was moving like he moving, but hey, the boy moving.
That's crazy, man.
The boy moving, boy.
There's some good defensive players in this draft, so it's like,
no doubt.
My fault.
No, I like the style. I like when the boy get hype me up. Hey, all right, here we go. And then last but not least, our boy, Big Darnell Washington, bro. Like I said, the boy is everywhere, man. He is absolutely everywhere right now. Just flip your phone on, scroll about 5 little scrolls, and you probably see him.
5 little scroll.
Yeah, bro. 5 little scrolls. Something gonna be up there about him, bro. He had a special day. I think Darnell made a lot of money, getting a lot of comparisons to Robert Gronkowski, as Sauce mentioned earlier. So
For sure.
So yeah, just a special day for him. Hell of a day for the Dogs in general, though.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it was like an infomercial for Georgia for 3 days. Like, I mean, that's a big thing in recruiting. I mean, that's free recruiting that is invaluable right there. So tremendous for Georgia on that front. My top 5, I took all quarterbacks out of it just because I think it's already skewed towards quarterbacks anyways. Like, they're going to get drafted high because GMs are going to feel
you
like
are something else, by the way. Because if Stetson would have went crazy, I bet his ass would have been in that top 5.
No, he wouldn't, because it's all based on the metrics. And these guys, the only one that would have belonged in there is Anthony Richardson, but I don't personally believe in Anthony Richardson, and I don't think that this quarter. I don't.
Man, hit me with the patos.
Patos Santos.
She don't want that 2-footed bad boy. She don't want that Dos Zapatos animal. You know what I'm saying?
I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it. My patos, I'm going something big. All right, wherever he goes, if they do give him the listen, yes, I do agree with everyone. He should have a little bit of time to develop, kind of get used to the game, and have a quarterback in front of him. But if they give him the chance to start and to play throughout the season, he'll have a better record than Justin Fields had this past year. I don't know what the Bears' record was. What, 6 wins? 4? Not even that. What was that? 2 wins? 3 wins? 5? Listen, they were down there. He'll have more wins than that. He'll have 7+.
Depends on how smart the league is. If the league's smart and lets him fall into the latter half of the first round, then maybe. But if he's with one of those garbage teams up top, let's say maybe somebody. I got to look at the draft order. Let me look at the NFL draft order.
What about Carolina?
Here. What about, if a team like the Green Bay Packers ends up picking him up when they lose Aaron Rodgers, okay? Like somebody like that, that's a more established team.
I don't think they're going to do that.
But I'm just saying, if somebody picked him up like that, but if one of these teams that's garbage, like the Texans or the Cardinals or the Colts or even the Raiders, we know how the Raiders are with all that, then that's just going to be awful. I think now you end up getting down there and you go to a team like the Tennessee Titans, who already have a lot of pieces, good defense, Mike Vrabel over there. That could be a thing for him. I could even see the Jets. The Jets have a really good defense. Like TK said, the Jets played good on defense last year.
We'll put it this way.
Heck, the Baltimore Ravens, if he makes it down to 22, but don't pick him in those top 7 picks. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
He might not, but listen, if they give him a chance to play, I'm standing on it. He's going to have more than 7 wins. And that's saying a lot because, listen, we had a quarterback, Russell Wilson, who's supposed to be a Hall of Famer. Didn't even get that.
Well, you got a good coach now over there. You got a good coach now in Denver. So you're gonna see. All right, my top 5. Nolan Smith. Doesn't need to be said. The dude went nuts. Emmanuel Forbes, I'm giving him credit because that guy at 166 pounds just went out there and did some work. Now, those arms, he looks like Stretch Armstrong out there. I don't even know what his wingspan was, but that guy is lanky, and he had 6 pick sixes during his career at Mississippi State. So the production is there. He's able to fly around with that 4.35. Can jump and high point the ball, win the 50-50 balls. He's going to get punched in the chest by DK Metcalf and fly for about 20 yards. But as long as he gets to be an open space type deal, I like Emmanuel Forbes a lot. Darnell Washington, you guys have already touched on it. Byron Young is a guy we didn't put.
I'm very surprised in that one.
Down. But listen, this man is 20 pounds heavier than Nolan Smith, and he ran a 4.43. He ran 0.4 of a second slower. He's a guy who was working at the Dollar General, okay, and was totally out of football, sees a flyer for football at Georgia Military Academy, goes there, ends up getting on the team. COVID hits, doesn't get a season. Georgia comes after him. Tennessee comes after him. He ends up going to Tennessee. Byron Young had a tremendous day. Jumped 38 inches in the vertical at 250-something pounds. This dude was a freak. I mean, I think he made himself into a first-round pick, Byron Young, before it's over with. And then Matt Landers, of course, we already said 6'4", 200 pounds, was crazy. Tim Collins asked, did Will Anderson not impress? No, he didn't. He ran a 4.60, was his official time. He didn't do anything special jumping-wise.
But you got to understand, though, too, he was out there at linebacker. Yeah, and he was out there at linebacker showing that he can kind of get out there in space. Yeah, he didn't look super fluid, but you got to think he's probably going to be putting his hand down on the ground, but he just wanted to show, like, hey, I can get out here, and drop back and, catch a ball or two. But I don't think he hurt his draft, not any bit.
No, I view him like a Micah Parsons type dude. You can move around as well.
Yeah. I mean, Micah Parsons way more athletic in terms of but in terms of on field, I mean, Will Anderson's a wrecking ball. Now, I think there was some questionable use with Pete Golden. Pete Golden, he got in trouble for a little something while he was driving. I don't know. Yeah. He might have been doing that while he was calling games for Alabama last year, because he was dropping Will Anderson out in coverage in that Tennessee game instead of having him rush the quarterback. I don't know why.
Oh, they talked about A-Chain on here too. Richard Green.
Oh yeah,
A-Chain ran crazy. He ran really fast. He looked really crisp in his drills as well. I love the way that A-Chain looked. Those are the three bats for me. I'll have to go on Robinson, Bijan, right? Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson was unbelievable. He's
gonna be a top.
He might be the highest. One of the highest drafted running backs since you were drafted, Knowshon. I mean, you got drafted 10th overall. 12th overall, and they're saying he may go in the top 10, and I don't think there's been a running back go that high in a long time.
Nah, not at all. So yeah, BJ, I think he looked great. We talked about Gibbs, and yeah, A-Chain was my third back. I love the way that A-Chain looked. And he ran super fast. So he'd be like one of those like scat backs. I mean, I think he can run between the tackles as well, though.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's hard to tell because Jimbo Fisher's offense was awful, so we don't know what A-Chain can really do. We got to see. We know he can run fast. But guys, you can see it behind me. Like I said, we're the replay is on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. Got Georgia playing in the SEC tournament right now in basketball. They're down 18-14 with 9 minutes 23 seconds left in the first half here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Okay, it means the world to us. We appreciate you guys. We like having fun with you. We're going to be doing a little deal, and I didn't even broke this to the guys. We're going to be doing a deal where we invite some of you guys who are loyal viewers. We're going to invite you onto the show here with us. We're going to give you a link and let you come on and chop it up with us. The guys that come to mind right now, we got Andy, we got Alex, we got Tim, we got CT. Antoine's working his way up in there. This is the first couple of times I'm seeing Antoine. He's active in the chat now. So we may trade it around with some of you guys, but we appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications. We'll be bringing you action every Wednesday live here at 8:30 on the UGASports YouTube channel. For my guys, Tavarres King and Knowshon Moreno, I am Blayne Gilmer. We'll catch you next time on Georgia Players Section with Tavarres and Knowshon on UGAsports.com.
The best in this sport. Whether you like it or not, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo!
Fuck me.